Hello and welcome back to Intelligent Pod, the podcast where we dive deep into the world of tomorrow's ideas, innovations, and insights, one episode at a time. I'm your host, Sophie Lane, and today we're exploring something that's not just trending, but is fundamentally transforming how we think about health, food, and our own bodies. Our topic is the future of personalized nutrition, DNA diets, and beyond, 2025 trends. Whether you're a health enthusiast, a curious foodie, or just someone who's tried every diet on the planet, you've probably heard the buzz about personalized nutrition. But what does that really mean? Is it just a marketing gimmick? Or are we on the verge of a revolution where your breakfast is as unique as your fingerprint? Today, we're going to separate fact from fad, dig into the science, look at the cultural shifts, and, of course, talk about what it all means for you. Let's start with a relatable scenario. Picture this. You're standing in the grocery store, scanning a sea of labels. Gluten-free, keto, paleo, vegan. Your best friend swears by intermittent fasting. Your cousin is all about the Mediterranean diet. And your social media feed is peppered with before and after shots from people on plant-based meal plans. And yet, with all this information, you're still left wondering, what should I eat? Well, here's a statistic that might surprise you. According to a 2024 survey by the International Food Information Council, over 60% of Americans say they're interested in foods tailored to their personal health profile. And nearly half would consider genetic testing to help guide their dietary choices. That's a huge leap from just 5 years ago. So, what's driving this craze for hyper-personalized nutrition? Let's break it down. First, we're living in an era where DNA testing is more accessible and affordable than ever before. For less than the price of a nice dinner out, you can spit in a tube, mail it off, and a few weeks later, get a report telling you everything from your ancestry to how your body metabolizes caffeine. Companies like 23andMe, Nutrigenomics, and DNA Fit have started offering nutrition-focused reports, claiming to tell you which foods your genes say you should eat or avoid. The idea is seductive. If you can unlock your genetic blueprint, you can supposedly fine-tune your diet for optimal energy, weight loss, and even disease prevention. But is it really that simple? Let's explore this from a scientific perspective. Our understanding of nutrigenomics, the study of how our genes interact with our diet, is still in its infancy. Yes, there are some well-established links. For example, people with a certain variant of the LCT gene are lactose intolerant. Others with a variant in the CYP1A2 gene metabolize caffeine more slowly, making them more susceptible to jitters or insomnia from that second cup of coffee. But beyond these clear-cut cases, most gene-diet interactions are way more complex and influenced by a web of other factors: your lifestyle, your gut microbiome, your environment, and even your stress levels. A 2023 review in the journal Nature Reviews Genetics concluded that while DNA-based diets are promising, most genetic markers only explain a small fraction of the differences in how people respond to foods. Yet, despite these caveats, the personalized nutrition industry is booming. By 2025, it's projected to be a $20 billion market globally, with hundreds of startups offering everything from personalized meal kits to apps that use artificial intelligence to tailor your grocery lists. Let's take a moment to look at this from a psychological angle. Why are we so drawn to the idea of a diet made just for me? Partly, it's the allure of certainty in a world full of conflicting advice. If you've ever felt overwhelmed by wellness trends, you're not alone. Personalized nutrition offers the comfort of a clear answer, one that feels scientific and customized, even if the underlying evidence is still catching up. Culturally, we're also seeing a shift away from one-size-fits-all diets. Think about the last decade: low-fat, then low-carb, then gluten-free, then high-protein. Each trend promised results for everyone, but the reality is that people's bodies and lives are different. Personalized nutrition, at its best, recognizes these differences and rejects the idea of a universal solution. Let me share a real-life anecdote. A friend of mine, let's call her Emily, tried a DNA-based nutrition service last year. Her report recommended she cut back on saturated fats, increase her omega-3 intake, and avoid too much caffeine. She followed those guidelines and, to her surprise, didn't just feel better physically. She also felt more confident in her food choices. For Emily, even if the science wasn't perfect, the sense of agency and personalization made a big difference. But let's not forget the other side. Critics warn that these tests can lead to a false sense of precision. Many nutritionists argue that the most important factors in a healthy diet, like eating more fruits and vegetables, cutting back on processed foods, and staying active, don't require a genetic test to figure out. There are also concerns about privacy and data security. After all, your genetic information is some of the most personal data you own. So, what's beyond DNA diets? What are the 2025 trends we should be watching? First up, microbiome-based nutrition. Scientists are discovering that the trillions of bacteria in your gut may have an even bigger impact on your health than your genes. Companies like Viome and Zoe are offering gut microbiome tests, claiming to tell you which foods your unique gut bugs love or hate. Early studies suggest that tailoring your diet to your microbiome may improve everything from blood sugar control to mood. Another trend is real-time dietary feedback. Wearable devices and continuous glucose monitors are moving from diabetes management into mainstream wellness. Imagine eating a meal and seeing within minutes how your blood sugar responds. This feedback loop allows you to experiment, learn, and adjust in real time. No guesswork, no waiting for lab results. Artificial intelligence is also entering the scene. Apps are now using machine learning to analyze your food logs, activity, sleep, and even stress levels, offering dynamic recommendations that evolve as your life changes. The vision is a virtual nutritionist in your pocket, tailored, timely, and always adapting. So, where does all this leave us? How can we take these cutting-edge trends and actually use them to improve our daily lives without getting lost in the hype? Here are a few practical, actionable tips. First, get curious about your own body. Keep a simple food and mood journal for a week. Notice how different meals make you feel: energized, sluggish, satisfied, or hungry an hour later. Sometimes your own observations are more valuable than any test. Second, if you're interested in genetic or microbiome testing, do your homework. Choose reputable companies, and remember that these reports are guides, not gospel. Use them as a starting point for experimentation, not a rigid set of rules. Third, focus on the fundamentals. No matter what your genes say, the basics of good nutrition still apply. Eat plenty of whole foods, prioritize variety, and listen to your body's signals. The most personalized diet is one that fits your lifestyle, preferences, and culture, not just your DNA. Fourth, pay attention to privacy. Before sharing your genetic or health data, read the fine print and understand how your information will be used and protected. Finally, stay open-minded but skeptical. Personalized nutrition is an exciting frontier, but the science is evolving. Be wary of miracle claims and look for evidence over anecdotes. To recap, the future of personalized nutrition is bright, but it's not magic. DNA diets, microbiome testing, wearables, and AI-powered apps are giving us new tools to understand our bodies, but they're not a substitute for mindful eating and self-awareness. The next time you're tempted by a perfect diet plan, remember, the best nutrition is the one that works for you, and that may change as you do. Before we wrap up, I want to leave you with this thought. As we enter this new era of personalized nutrition, let's use technology as a tool for self-discovery, not self-judgment. Let's be curious, compassionate, and willing to experiment. After all, food is not just fuel. It's connection, culture, and, most importantly, joy. I hope you enjoyed today's episode of Intelligent Pod. If you found it helpful, please leave a review wherever you listen. It really helps others find the show. For more information, show notes, and links to the studies and resources mentioned today, head over to intelligentpod.com. And if you've got feedback, questions, or just want to share your own nutrition story, email me anytime at sophie@intelligentpod.com. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks for joining me. And until next time, stay curious, stay kind, and remember, intelligence is about asking the right questions. See you soon.